We settled Mars over a century ago. Making this dusty rock our home wasn't easy, but the promise that led us across the void was freedom. Something my family's bled for many times.
Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, bringing you the next section in my Red Faction, Armageddon, Insane Difficulty video walkthrough. And we're still running errands for Bastion after the power cells, and now we have to go to a pumping station. It's a water treatment facility, I do believe. And it's just a case of listening to your companion there, running around collecting some stuff, and immediately you're going to get attacked by a swarm of the little creeper guys. And I think you can just either jump over them or hit them with the impulse or do whatever you want to do, you know, Red Faction it up, and it's very, very simple. And this section of the game, you're pretty much in your stride now. There's nothing too challenging, there's nothing too noteworthy as far as, you know, you're going to get your ass slapped by some random bug that you didn't expect to be there. There is a couple of areas, there's a room coming up that's very, very intimidating until you realise that once you know exactly what you're doing, you can get it done quickly and efficiently and not have to worry about dying. But straight away you'll notice that I've just picked up the nano rifle, and it is a pretty cool gun. The only problem with it is it can be as much of a detriment to you as it is to the enemies you're trying to kill with it, so just be careful. But this area is bad. The first thing I like to do, because I know it's bad, is to come down on the bottom floor and destroy the hives that are going to spawn enemies, because if you don't, it's going to seem like you're taking on an army. You're going to feel like a bloody Spartan, and the Persians just never stop coming, and there is nothing worse than an infinite spawn system. As long as you get on the bottom, you do have cover because you can retreat into those holes and you can use your nano forge to bring the barriers back up and get some life back. Because as you can see, I'm a little bit injured, so I stand behind these boxes, and as you can see on the screen, the regenerative capabilities of, you know, a regenerating life system is one of the reasons why these games are possible to do. Because if half of these games had the old system of picking up med packs and having, you know, 100 life, and every time you get hurt it goes down, and sometimes you just had to run around with 20 life for half the game and hope you didn't die and save really intelligently, they would probably be significantly harder. But I do believe that that is definitely a testament to older games and to an era of game making which is now a little bit redundant. However, you do get the people that absolutely hate the regenerating life system, and they think it's preposterous that you can sit behind a rock and have your life back and then be good to go. But if you're, you know, contemplating things along the lines of realism and, you know, what is preposterous in a video game, you probably shouldn't be playing video games unless you're looking at it, you know, from an objective perspective or from, you know, the land of academia. But now that you've cleared this area out, and as you can see, if you drop down to the bottom and you get rid of the hives, it's done significantly faster than it would be going tier to tier trying to clean everything up. And as soon as it's done, you have to rebuild the 4, I think it's pumping, water pumps. So just use your nano forge. It takes no skill whatsoever because the forge is so goddamn hungry to just rebuild anything that's in front of you. And then you can continue on to the next section of the game. But in the last video, if you didn't check it out, please do. I was talking about Deus Ex, and I was talking about the second level boss, which was an absolute bitch. And I was on about how stupid my encounter with her was when I finally beat her. And the thing with it is, Deus Ex is a game that's built in such a way that there are numerous different approaches to the levels. And it's a little bit wider than you generally, you know, you can either stealth it or you can go guns blazing. There are subtle nuances, like you can talk your way through some scenarios. You also have an agility feature where you can jump and you can take the agile route through levels, and it's kind of stealthy but it's more monkey and things like that. There is a lot of possibilities for you to play with and a lot of different combat options. And this guy is a red version or a yellow version, like a magma version of the Berserk guys, the green dudes you've seen, and he's almost identical. He has the same kind of life, he's the same kind of, you know, AI and same abilities, only the difference being is he fires a big blast like that, and as you just saw, it hurts. So be very careful with him. But you know, the strategy that is tried and tested is to just keep slamming him into the roof. It's the slinky technique, as I like to call it, just, you know, up and down and good night. But as I was saying about Deus Ex, you can play it and approach it however you want. So this boss does have numerous ways of beating her, and there's a couple of interesting ones I imagine, but I just couldn't figure them out. And the one thing that was getting me most was I had an EMP grenade, and when you throw it, it stuns enemies, and it keeps them in an electrified field and stuns them for a couple of seconds. The only problem with the environment, though, is it was covered in water, and when you used your EMP grenade, it hurt you. And I was looking through my upgrades to see if there was an augment that I could use that would make me immune to electricity, and I couldn't see one for the life of me. So I'm like, well, that's not a strategy, I can't use that because it's just killing me, and it did kill me. It killed me fucking tons of times, which was a bullshit thing. And then I noticed a couple times when she did the impulse, not the impulse, sorry, what is the name of the move? The typhoon attack, where she dashes at you and blows up. She was hitting these things on the wall and they were causing electricity. And that was shocking me as well, and it was also shocking her. So I decided to shoot one when I loaded my save after I died. And it electrified the arena, but I couldn't find a use for it because as much as it stunned and damaged her so that I could shoot her, it was killing me, and it was killing me faster than it was killing her. So I was just in this bind of, there's probably a really cheesy and interesting way of doing this fight, but I just couldn't for the life of me put the jigsaw together and solve the puzzle. It was really annoying. So in the end, what it turned into was just horrific. I was running around with the heavy machine gun that you find just before the boss, shooting her with it, only to find out that it's got a wind up on the gun, so you have to hold the trigger for a couple seconds before it starts firing. You can't look down sights to make it accurate, and it's about as accurate as pissing in the wind. So it wasn't doing the job at all, and I ended up using all the ammo in the room and all the ammo I had for it, which was about 400 rounds, and the bitch was still alive. It was like, what is going on? I just couldn't fathom it. It was fucking mind-boggling. it was just awful. It really was. And what it ended up being is I ended up pulling a revolver out and hitting her with that, and she still didn't die. And then I had the pistol that I've been using throughout the game, which I have the armor-piercing rounds on and the silencer, because it's the gun that it's my go-to weapon. I really like it. And I'm running around chasing her down with this pistol, hitting her in the back a few times, and I think I got a little bit lucky, because as I chased her down towards the end, she got caught and she stopped, and I shot her with the pistol and it stunned her. And because I'm pretty good at pressing a trigger, because I play games all the time, I spammed the trigger, and I ended up getting about 3 headshots in a row on her, and she died. But it was not fun, it was not cool, and it was messy, and the guide is hopefully going to be so much cleaner, because I would not wish it upon anyone. It sucked dick. But yeah, I can't wait to make this guide. I've been doing a lot of talking about it in the last few videos, and it's an exciting prospect because it's probably going to be the toughest guide I've ever made, because I'm enforcing so many restrictions on myself, but it's also exciting. And right now, there's a lot of the creepers and the nuisance enemies, so I just ignore them. I go balls for the wall, and I drop all the way down the stairs, because there's no point fighting them up there. You can't see them, they have an advantage on you on the terrain, and I drop all the way down into this little maintenance tunnel. And the reason for it is, it's a funnel. And what I mean by a funnel is all the enemies will come to you and funnel themselves into this open area so that you can hit them with whatever you want to do, and you can kill them in the means that you've been using throughout the game. And if you get into trouble, you can stand at the back of this area behind this little it almost looks like a hatch that would hold electronics or cables or something, like a conduit, so you can hide behind that, and like a plexiglass box or something, and you can get your life back. But just focus on murdering all of them, and once you've cleared it out, you can continue on with this section. But I'm not too sure if there's a nest here, because I thought I saw a spawn point just down on the wall. It could just be enemies spawning in, it could be a nest that I've completely forgot, but this is, in my opinion, the safest and easiest way to approach this section, because it isn't hard, but the fact that the room is so cavernous, it's such a giant chasm in the earth, that it makes it awkward. And as you see, the enemies are just lining up on the wall so that you can utilise whatever weapons you like using, and you can clean them up. But now that we've... Oh yeah, you've got to... I was jumping the gun just then. I thought I was going to go down the subway sewer, but you do that after you repaired these pumps. So if you come over here with the Nano Forge, repair these 2 icons, you will effectively have beaten the level and restored the water treatment facility. Then you have to go to the maintenance tunnel that I was using just then for cover, and the hatch in the floor is going to take you to the next section of the game, where we're going to be finding a corporal who's done a transmission asking for help. But as usual, nothing is as simple as it seems, and Darius is going to be getting himself into a whole nother mess. But when I get the time, because right now all I want to do is play a Deus Ex, I want to watch things, I want to catch up on everything. I've been watching UFC like a fiend. I've just been forcing as much into my days as I can because I've been out of the media loop for 3 weeks and I've missed a lot of cool stuff. But once I'm finally back and able to do things at my luxury, I'm going to be doing another updated legend list because I've got a good 60 subscribers since I last did it. And I do like to give back. It is pretty cool and people like to see the names. The only problem is it does take a while to make them, so you do have to be patient with me. But this is the end of the level, guys. Thanks for watching and you take care now.